What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome back, man. I know we took the week off last week. You know what I'm saying?
We are
That's my
so
fault.
sorry for
That's
the
my fault.
delay.
That's my fault. I'll take that. That's my fault. But we are back, guys, from another NFL show here on the Max Coverage TV YouTube channel, Facebook. We're on Twitter and Twitch as well. Keifer, how's it going, my boy?
Oh, it is great, Max. Listen, I know that it's just preseason, but I just love saying it. Football is back, baby. We had a whole slate of NFL preseason football, and I want to get into that, Max. I want to get into the preseason roundup. Now, don't worry, guys. We're not going to get into the nitty-gritty of the second and third team. All right, we're not going to talk about Blunt or Blout or whatever his name is from the Lions fumbling in the fourth quarter to lose them the game. We're not going to talk about that shit. We're talking about the storylines, guys. And the biggest one, I feel like we got to start with the Eagles and the Jets, Max, because listen, Zack Wilson, everybody knows he went down with the non-contact injury. There was a huge scare. They thought maybe it was an ACL. Turns out it wasn't. I forget exactly what happened, but he's going to be out for about meniscus. There we go. Meniscus injury. He'll be out for about 4 weeks. But Max,
I thought that was going to be a lot more serious for real too. After watching it over and over again, like I was texting my buddy Carr because he's a Jets fan. I was like, man, well, even though y'all season didn't really have high hopes, now they're definitely done. And now this kind of sets up Flacco to face his old team, the Ravens, in week 1 because he had a successful surgery. It all went well. He should be back, they saying, around by week 4-ish. He'll be back. So they got a tough break for Zack Wilson, but hey, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you though. If and I hate to down a guy while he's down, but listen, if you saw Zack Wilson play before the injury, I've not been a believer in Zack Wilson, and I just feel like this team actually might be better off without Zack Wilson. Okay,
really?
I do believe that. I feel like the same thing happened when Flacco was there with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold went out and the team started playing better under Flacco. And I just feel like that could end up being the case here. You brought up a good point, though, off air a few days ago about this potentially being a Jimmy G landing spot. How are you feeling about that after letting it sit for a few days with this obviously not being long term?
Yeah, well, I brought it up because, Robert Saleh, the head coach for the Jets, came from San Francisco. He knows Jimmy G well. Him and Kyle Shanahan, they're homeboys. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that Kyle Shanahan would like to help his guy over there. And plus, he's in the AFC. You know what I'm saying? So you won't really have to worry about facing Jimmy G. Now, we know these two won't meet each other in the playoffs because the Jets won't make it there. And I'm sorry, Mike Kowinski. He's a Jets fan in the chat. I am so sorry. But you guys aren't going to make the playoffs, man. But now, fast forward to now, a lot more reporters have came out and said that that's not going to happen because I think the injury wasn't as bad as they first expected it to be, which I thought, it would have made a lot more sense if, Zack Wilson was done for this season. Why not go and get Jimmy G? I think personally, it would make that team a lot better. Like if Jimmy G is not a scrub, his time in San Francisco was up. We all know that, but I think he would have been serviceable over there in New York with the Jets, especially with that team, how it's built around right now. I think he would have gave them a lot more of a shot to win games than Zack Wilson would have.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I feel like from their perspective, with Zack Wilson, it's like we're going to give him time because we invested the second overall pick. That's really what I feel like it comes down to at the end of the day. Like they're not going to go get Jimmy G in hopes that he's going to replace Zack Wilson just because they're going to give him every chance that he has to succeed. And it probably would be a team distraction if he was there. Like you got this guy that's clearly better than Zack Wilson and you're playing Zack Wilson. I mean, it's just not going to be a good locker room feel. But one injury that they also had that is a long-term injury, Mekhi Becton, man, out for the year. Really sucks for him, man, because he had a pretty good rookie season, and then the sophomore slump happened, and he saw him coming into camp with the I'm a bust shirt and just really looking like he was ready to work. The Jets made him move to right tackle at one point because they said that George Fant plays better at left tackle. Here's what I think is interesting. They went out and they signed Dwayne Brown to replace him this year, which Dwayne Brown ended up signing a 2-year deal, which I thought was a little strange.
$22 million. I was like,
yeah,
damn.
pretty good money.
Yeah.
So that's what shows you what can happen if you do the sit and wait type of market. You wait for some situation like that. But I just thought it was interesting because he's going to the Jets now, and now that he's there, the Jets have decided, you know what, we're going to move George Fant back to right tackle. So I don't know. I'm not taking. I just want to throw that out there because I feel like it kind of does show you what they think of Becton to this point.
Yeah,
they made him move to right tackle, but when Dwayne Brown comes in, they're like, "Oh no, George, you got to go back."
Yeah, like, and that was one of the big question marks for the Jets coming into this season was like, and that was during the draft, they were, they didn't really believe in Beckham. That was a rumor around like the organization when the draft happened. They could go get a left tackle, you know what I'm saying? They went with Sauce Gardner, of course, with the number 4, and then who was the number? Garrett Wilson with the second top 10 pick. So they obviously shut those rumors up. They said, we do trust this guy, Becton, that is. And then, it does suck for him because this just puts him personally a ton. And yeah, that is definitely something to look like. I mean, Dwayne Brown coming in here, automatically getting that left tackle spot, like you said, moving Fant to the right side. So I think they are just and kind of not in shambles, but panicking a little bit especially because how fast the season's starting. Like we're already in week 2 in the preseason. They have to figure out what's going on fast. You know what I'm saying? So I think Dwayne Brown is going to be a good replacement for Beckham this season. We'll see how next season plays out, but I think they had the best option available and they went to go get him. So I think they'll be all right, but still low hopes for the Jets this upcoming season.
Yeah, and it's so sad because like they have invested so much in that offensive line. All right,
yes,
because they have George Fant. They obviously drafted Becton. Now they signed Dwayne Brown. They also went out and got Lakeland Tomlinson in the offseason. And they drafted Elijah Vera Tucker as well. I'm pretty sure he was a first-round pick. So they've put a lot into that offensive line. But also, before we move on, I also want to touch on the Eagles for just a second. They don't really have any news, but I just wanted to point out to y'all, I know it was against the Jets, but the Eagles looked freaking perfect. Their first team was money. Jalen Hurts, he's looking like he definitely is going to have that, what you would consider a year 1 to year 2 jump, since obviously last year was his first year as a starter for the entire year. But everything looked great from there. And I wanted to point out one play. If there's any Jaguars fan watching, Quincy Williams, all right, he got a lot of heat from Nick Sirianni in this game because he hit Jalen Hurts. It was super late. Like I'm talking late, like 3 steps out of bounds late. And he hits him. And I'm telling you, Sirianni was fired up. He was screaming, cussing at the Jets sideline. Like I kind of wish I would have tuned back in to the end of the game, like fast forwarded it just to see if they ended up fighting, because he looked like he was ready to hit somebody.
Hey, that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see from your head coach right there, especially only preseason. Oh, he's going to have your boys back. You know what I'm saying? And that's how exciting it is, Keifer. Like that just showed you football is here, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like getting your head coach fired up, ready, having the guys back, even though it's preseason week 1. But
yeah, I do wonder if that played into his decision to pull the starters out there, because they scored that touchdown and he was like, no, we're done.
Yeah, we're done.
So maybe that was why. But all right, let's slide over to the Cardinals and the Bengals. Don't have anything about the game, but one thing that I thought was interesting, Kyler Murray and he's not the only one that got to do it this Sunday. He got to call some plays for the preseason game. Didn't play, but he had the headset on. He was calling the plays. I only want to throw this out here because earlier, like a week or so earlier, maybe him and Cliff had some frustration in practice about the plays that were being called. Apparently, Kyler was doing some eye rolling and some, oh my God, here we go. And Cliff said, you know what, dude? It's not that freaking easy, pal. So I don't know. I just want to call this out because, like, look, they just gave Kyler Murray this big ass contract. Okay, we've already got the drama about what was with the study clause that no longer is. Okay, and now we got the head coach and Kyler Murray, the head coach who wanted Kyler Murray so bad, and they're only going to work together at this point. Like you guys can't separate. This is just how it's going to be. I just feel like it's worth noting that there's already some frustrations coming out of that Arizona building. So
yeah, and it's funny because someone did, like, I saw this on Twitter. Someone circled the box score when Kyler was calling the plays for the Cardinals this past week. And I think they went 3-and-out, Keifer. I think they, it wasn't nothing to really showboat and, pump your chest at. And Cliff Kingsbury was like, see, told you it's not that easy, man. You know what I'm saying? And that was preseason. So imagine being, fourth quarter down 2 minutes left calling the plays then, So I think that kind of showed Kyler Murray a little bit more of, he should respect his head coach a little more, you know what I'm saying? Because, Cliff is a young guy, so I'm sure that the two butt heads more than often. But, yeah, and the whole contract thing, man, a lot of people don't realize this. The clause. We're talking about the study film, 4 hours a day clause.
4 hours a day, yep.
He signed the contract, man. He signed it. He saw the clause was in there. He still signed the damn contract. So, Stephen A. and the guys on ESPN like Marcus Spears and all those guys, they were just like, that's embarrassing. The fact that you knew it was in the contract and you still signed it, you know what I'm saying? But of course they got rid of it now, but still, like,
yeah, and Kyler kind of attacked the media about it, but it's like, dude, this isn't the media's opinion of you. This is your team's opinion of you, really, because they were the ones that put it in the contract. But
yeah.
Also, I love that you pointed out that maybe this will give Kyler a little slap of reality after not having success calling plays. Maybe that's exactly what they need. Maybe it'll be like, maybe we won't hear anything else about this. Maybe that's exactly what he needed. But I wonder this, though, like when Cliff handed him those responsibilities, I wonder if in his head he was shaking a little bit like, damn, I hope he doesn't have success because if he does, exactly, like if he does, man, he's always going to snatch this fucking clipboard from me. So
he gets like an 80-yard touchdown drive.
Exactly. Yeah. Like they're just like scoring touchdown after touchdown.
Spence says this. Do you think they let Kyler play call as a press stunt because of the whole film thing? That's Spence, by the way.
No, I don't think so. Honestly, I think it's more likely that it's just been like the temper of Kyler being annoyed with Cliff. I feel like that's one of those moves. Like, it's like, this guy's been getting so annoyed with my play calling. Let me see what you can do as a play caller. Let me see if you're some kind of genius, and it's just like, hit him with a little taste of reality in hopes that he'll give you a little more respect when you're calling those damn plays.
Yeah, it's like, you all right, go ahead, tough guy. Show me how it's done. Kind of like that.
Yeah.
But that was funny. It was funny seeing him with the headset on and the clipboard in his hand. And yeah, I saw the pictures.
Yeah, absolutely. But speaking of another guy that got to call plays, Aaron Rodgers not playing in the game, but also calling plays. This is just becoming a new trend. Honestly, this one makes more sense to me. Aaron Rodgers calling plays makes a lot more sense to me than Kyler Murray. This is actually a scenario where I could see them doing it just so that Aaron's like if Aaron wants to take it over, they're like, hey, take it. Maybe if something's not working, a fresh set of eyes, because Aaron actually does have the experience where I would expect him to call really good plays.
Yeah, and this is also, he's done it before. He came out and admitted that when, Mike McCarthy was as the head coach still for the Packers, he kind of he nixed some of those plays that Mike would call, and he would call his own plays in the huddle. So Rodgers does probably have a lot more experience behind the scenes that we don't know about, that he just does in the huddle himself. And like you said, the experience plays it all. He's 39 years old, you know what I'm saying? He's been in this league for a while, a long time now. So I'm sure oh yeah, Wallace, he said you mean Nick Cage? Yeah, Con Air. But yeah, I mean, he's been doing this for a while, man. And this could, who knows? Maybe Matt LaFleur is a little hyping up a little after the playing time's over. Maybe Rodgers comes in as a assistant or something like that down the line.
Oh, give me a break.
Come on, why not?
Dude, nobody that made big money in the NFL does that shit. It doesn't pay enough for their time.
Yeah.
He'd be better off getting a media job or something. Like for that to
Yeah.
happen, I feel like you would have to immediately offer them a head coaching job, because like otherwise the money and the time is just not even going to be worth it. They're going to be working all the time, not making nearly as much as they could literally be making on TV or doing endorsements or whatever. So yeah, I definitely, a guy like Rodgers, he's too good to do something like that. I hate to say it like that, but it's just true. He's too good to do something like that. But speaking of being too good, Aaron Rodgers does not think their receiving core is doing too good. As Aaron Rodgers ended up calling out the receivers in practice this week, which I find really interesting, because if you remember, like a week ago, there was noise coming out of the Packers building that this 4th round draft pick was just making splashes left and right. So Max, what is going on in the Packers receiving room right now?
So we had a tough practice yesterday, guys. We had a tough practice. Joint practices have, kicked off. A lot of, teams are going head to head now in practice, and we're going against the Saints. Okay. And yeah, Romeo Doubs is the 4th rounder you're alluding to out of Nevada. And he has been having a stellar camp, man. I mean, I've seen a lot of film. He made a great catch against the Niners for a touchdown. Jordan Love threw him a touchdown in the first quarter. But he did drop quite a few balls, you know what I'm saying, as expected. He's a rookie. They're going to make mistakes. But Rodgers came out and said that these guys are running wrong routes. They're dropping a lot of passes. They're running the wrong way on routes. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like basic rookie mistakes. I understand his frustration, but we do have guys like Randall Cobb and Sammy Watkins and Lazard. I mean, he's a vet in the league now, as you would say, that have been in the league for a while now. So it's a little concerning, seeing him say that. But he did hold a meeting today, so that's nice of it. Like, that is what I want to see, because he's engaging this season. I feel like, I mean, he needs to, with all these new guys in here.
Yeah, he's trying to make them better.
Yeah, he's trying to make them better and gain confidence and get that chemistry, and having each other's back. Even though a lot of people on Twitter were trashing the Packers, like a lot of drop balls today. Romeo Doubs dropped quite a few in practice, not gonna lie. But it's just nice seeing that he's supporting the guys, because we all know Rodgers he kind of fades off in the background a little bit. But this season we need him to be front focal, you know what I'm saying, and a leader. So we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right. Just we'll see how long it takes.
Yeah, and with that too, like as far as like the calling teammates out in public and everything, I kind of feel like also maybe it could have been something that he needed. Maybe like he had been hearing the noise, everybody hyping him up, and maybe he was getting a little cocky or something. And maybe Rodgers, he was like, "Hey, you know what? Let's just try to cool this guy out a little bit." So that could definitely be possible. But just
French, don't laugh. French over here laughing at us basic rookie mistakes. You know what happens. What about Tolbert? Okay.
Yeah, why don't you worry about your wide receiver 2 position? Because it sounds like week 1 we don't know who's going to be there.
Yeah, we don't know.
But listen, one last thing for this game, and this on the San Francisco side, I just wanted to point out that Trey Lance had that really nice long deep ball, that made the highlight reels and everything. But I do feel like it was a little bit of an up and down day for him. It looks like he was still trying to get settled in, which is normal. It's no big deal. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But just worth noting that he was late on a couple throws on the first drive.
Yeah.
So just worth noting that he did have an up and down performance despite the awesome long ball, which he clearly has in his back pocket, because there was also some highlights that came out today from him in plays and practice. And he clearly has a thing for the long ball. So we can definitely expect that from San Francisco this season. But let's slide over to the Jets and the Patriots. And honestly, there's really nothing to talk about with this game for the Giants. They are exactly what we think they are. Okay. It doesn't look good for the New York Giants this season. All right. But I want to talk about the Patriots a little bit here. Okay. Because Malcolm Butler made his return as a Patriot. All right. He just skipped out of retirement and you said, you know what? I'm going to go back to my roots. I'm going to go where I was good.
Go back home.
I'm going to New England. And you know what happens? He gets injured and he's out for the season. All right. So bye-bye, Malcolm Butler. And also Jawan Williams, also out for the season, another cornerback for the Patriots. I don't know what this team is going to do at cornerback. I don't even know who's supposed to be starting for them now that JC is gone. Okay. This defense is not going to be the same. And I think that the Patriots, should have something to worry about. There's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, it's Bill Belichick. It's Bill Belichick. He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. I just can't do that. I can't just be like, look, no matter what, I'm going to trust this person. Because when you look at the two main guys that are driving this offense right now, it's Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, both of which had terrible freaking offenses as head coaches, and neither of which originate as offensive coaches. Okay. So I feel like there should be a level of concern for the Patriots. It's worth noting for them, though, that in this game, Matt Patricia called the plays while Hoyer was out there. And then when their third stringer, Zappy, the guy that they drafted, went out there, they had Joe Judge calling the plays. So who knows what we're going to see this week? I'm pretty sure Mac Jones is supposed to play this weekend. So we'll definitely, everybody's going to be watching that sideline to see who's calling those plays. I think it's going to be Matt Patricia, but I'm not sure.
They're leaning on Matt Patricia as possibly the OC, which is just ugly. I mean, come on. But for the cornerback wise, we do have some key guys on the market still. I want to throw some names out for you. Maybe they go out and sign one of these free agents like Richard Sherman. He's good over there on Amazon. I don't think he's going to come out and play. But we have Josh Norman still available, as well as Xavier Rose, AJ Boye, Chris Harris Jr. still available. So do you think one of these guys will possibly maybe get a look at, or do you think they're
absolutely not, Max? Absolutely not. We're talking about the New England Patriots here. We are talking about Bill Belichick. This is a guy that won't even pay his own dudes. Now, granted, they did go out and get offensive guys. They went out and paid big money for guys like Jonnu Smith and guys like Hunter Henry. I felt like Hunter Henry made sense, but both of them, I was like, eh. And then Nelson Aguilar, they paid that guy a lot of money. He hasn't really done anything. And aren't you, Max, why don't you talk about these rumors that you're hearing about the Patriots and what their plan should be for this season?
Well, this is just a rumor, guys. Like, it's probably nothing. It's probably just up in the air, bull crap preseason news that, comes along. But yeah, they're saying, should the Patriots trade Damian Harris? Now, Keifer, I'm on the board if you don't do this. No, you don't trade Damian Harris. I know you do have Ramondre Stevenson. He is lighting it up in camp, they're saying. He's doing actually a lot better in the pass game as well. But I don't think you trade your best running back. I know this is another Bill Belichick thing to do. He never really has a true number one running back. He always uses a committee, and he does move on quite a bit. Remember that one time when they had Jonas Gray? He had 4 touchdowns in one game, and then we didn't see anything else from him the rest of his career.
He was late to a meeting, okay? You can't be late to the meeting.
Yeah, so I think no. Hell no. You keep Damian Harris right here. And why would you want to trade him? He just came off a phenomenal season with you. But I know you're probably leaning the same way, man. What's going on, New England? What's going on, brother?
Listen, I'm leaning that way. I'm leaning the same way as you. I wouldn't trade him, but also, what are you going to get for Damian Harris, bro? Like, seriously, like, I know he had a good season, but I really do not feel like you're going to get more than, like, at most a 3rd round pick, dude, because this is a running back, okay, for one, which already makes the value a lot lower. And he's still, like, even after having the season he had, he's still not elite, man. I mean, he's still not. If you're going to get something for a running back, it's got to be like top 5 worthy. Like, I feel like you're not going to get anything for it. And he's young also. That's another thing. It's not like we're talking about somebody that's on the back end of their career. I mean, he's still playing on his rookie deal. What is this guy, year 3?
I was just about to touch on his contract. So this is probably another reason why the rumors have came up is he's a free agent after this season. So
this is year 4 for him then.
Yeah, so this is year 4. He's dirt cheap. He's making less than $1 million, this season. So maybe that's why maybe you trade him before he can eventually just walk. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's another reason why the rumor has came up into there. And what's going on, Chad? What's up, brother? And Wallace, what's up, Wallace? But yeah, like, I think, like you said, the Patriot way, they don't really sign these guys long term. And do you think they will re-sign Damian Harris if they don't trade him?
I want to say yes. Because I feel like Damian Harris has earned a 2nd contract. But this is the thing, y'all. I mean, so did JC freaking Jackson. So I have no idea if they're going to sign him. Who knows what New England's going to do? Why do you let a guy like J.C. Jackson walk, but you sign 2 tight ends to big deals, or a guy like Nelson Aguilar to a big deal? So I mean, I should say middle of the pack. I shouldn't make.
I mean, he's making 10 mil. He's making 10 mil. Nelson Aguilar is that's what Zay Jones is making. I mean, I would put Zay Jones above Aguilar, no doubt about it. But yeah. I mean, it's just a rumor,
feel like
guys.
There are other people you can trade. If you're going to have a fire sale, there are other guys that can go. Like, I feel like Jonnu Smith. I know it's only been a year, but I would definitely consider trading Jonnu Smith if somebody was interested in him. I mean, you didn't get any production out of him last year. Hunter Henry was your go-to guy. Didn't drop a pass for you last year. I just feel like there are other options. So I do think that this team is clearly in a rebuilding mode. But just knowing how Bill Belichick is, I just don't see him taking a rebuilding type of route. And also, like, it's stupid to trade guys that can be part of the rebuild. You have older guys. So even if you wanted to go that route, I just don't see it. But you got anything else for them?
No. Are you still doing the preseason roundup?
Yes, we're still doing the preseason. We got plenty to go, my friend.
Let's go.
Listen, let's touch on the Falcons and the Lions for a second. Really don't have too much for the Falcons. Their first team actually did look decent. They scored a touchdown. Marcus Mariota did his thing with his legs and his arm. Aiden Hutchinson made a real nice tackle for loss in this game. But more than anything, I want to talk about Hard Knocks. All right. That's the star of this game is the Hard Knocks. Okay. Because first of all, one thing was pointed out to me and I was like, that's nuts. This is Jared Goff's 3rd time on Hard Knocks, man. This guy, he has a foot-in job at Hard Knocks after his football career is over because he knows exactly how this shit goes. I don't know if he's got a friend over there, if they're just really big Goff fans and they're just like, let's follow this man. But this is his 3rd time on the show, but he is not the star of this show, all right? The Hard Knocks stars are actually the coaching staff, okay? Dan the Man Campbell, all right? Deuce Staley, Aaron Glenn. We even got a little Mark Brunell. I love this coaching staff, okay? They're hilarious, all right? And they are super motivator type of coaches. I love what they're building over there in Detroit, and I just had to give them a shout out because they've been looking real good on Hard Knocks. This is the best Hard Knocks I have ever watched.
Really? I'm still behind.
Easily.
I'm behind. I'll be honest. I haven't watched yet, but shout out to French. He's in the chat. He gave me the login. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to catch up tonight probably.
See TV.
Before we move on, I need to get to this comment real quick, Keifer, because this is a hilarious story right here. New England says he's the one that has been flying the drone over Gillette Stadium. He got kicked out, and he's no longer allowed to the games. If that's true, bro, you have a lot of balls, man. But yeah, like Spence said, we all thought the Patriots were cheating again. But have you seen DJ Chark? Like has he been a part of Hard Knocks?
Not really. He hasn't been a big storyline. The receiver from last year, Amon St. Brown, they had a little thing with him. But I think he's really like gotten the biggest spotlight at receiver.
Okay.
It's mostly been the coaches, bro. I mean, and Jamal Williams as well. He's been on there. They did a big thing with the quarterback, the 3rd stringer that I was talking about. I always forget his name, but Blau, something like that.
David Blau.
Yeah, Blau, the 3rd, the guy with the wife that is a runner.
It's soccer. Or a runner. Yeah. She's in the Olympics.
She's a runner. Yeah. But they did a big thing on him, so he was kind of like a big part of the episode. But the coaches have been the biggest stars of this show, honestly.
But you know what happens usually when you're the star of the show, right? You get cut.
What's that?
So that's not good for Blau. Usually like that's the people that they highlight, like not St. Brown and like Jamal Williams, but like the lower end guys, the 3rd stringers that are fighting for a roster spot. Every time remember who's the tight end that one year? Juice.
I know who you're talking. Yeah.
Like remember everyone's like, yo, like he was like a big part of the season for the Browns, and then usually they get cut, man. It's a sad story.
They do, but they end up back. All right, they're just somewhere else trying out again.
French saying St. Brown killed the Packers. Come on, bro. Hey, that was a meaningless game, French. We're not going to talk about that, man. But yeah, I definitely got to catch up on Hard Knocks. I definitely do.
Yeah, it's definitely must-see TV. But let's slide over to some more meaningless football, all right? The Chiefs taking on the Bears. Okay, let me start by saying the Chiefs did play the first team, And I'm not going to lie to y'all. They look like they're not going to miss a beat. They looked so good, scored a touchdown easy. I mean, it's the Bears, but it looked good to see. Their defense as well. I mean, this Bears O-line is absolutely garbage. I mean, you can already tell that
Dude,
from this preseason game. They are so bad, and they have zero chance of being a competent offensive line. I'm going to be honest with you. After watching this game, all I thought was Justin Fields is fucking screwed. Okay.
I sent that video in their chat of them just getting absolutely like the O-line getting just bulldozed, dude.
They're awful. They are
Chris
awful.
Jones and for real.
Easily the worst in the league. Okay. And then
God.
a storyline coming out of Chicago that I feel like it's a pretty big deal. Roquan Smith really wants a trade. He said that the Bears have sent them or Ryan Pace has sent him a disrespectful offer. All right. And he is done unless ownership steps into these contract negotiations. He basically says, I want a trade and I'm not playing. All right. Look, it's worth noting that Roquan is his own agent. Okay. And the NFL already put out a warning to NFL teams that you cannot reach out to him because that is tampering. So what are your thoughts on the situation going over there in Chicago? Do you think he's going to eventually get the contract from the Bears, or you think that they're going to ship him out?
No, first things first, when this report came out, I was ecstatic. I'm get out of my division first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? Stop hitting my quarterback because this man's a beast. He's an all-pro linebacker. I agree with Roquan, dude. You do need a contract extension now. We all know, these guys, when they get to like the fourth year of this rookie contract, they need the money. You need the money, man. So I'm with Roquan. He actually went to, I think, Instagram or Twitter. He wrote a big letter on his notepad section of his phone, and he put it all out there, man. He said he grew up a Bears fan. This is like his second home, Chicago. He doesn't want to leave, but, he has to look out for his future and his family. So I understand it. And what else? Now, Keifer, you know how much money the Bears have. They got a bunch of money, especially next season. I think their cap is over $190 million in free cap space next season.
It's a lot.
So you guys, you got to lock in your star on defense. Like, who else are you paying right now? You know what I'm saying? And especially a guy like this, you don't want to lose him. You lose Khalil Mack and Roquan Smith in the same offseason. My God. That's just – that's ugly, man. And I personally, because I'm a Packers fan, I personally like it. Get out of here. But for him, he deserves his money, man. So I hope he gets it. I hope he gets it.
I think he's going to, honestly. I think that this letter was incredible. I think that this gives him a ton of leverage because if you're a Bears fan, you're like, bro, we literally let this roster go to trash this offseason, okay? We have a young player in Roquan Smith who has been a great player for us, okay? Very reliable. He's worked out as your first-round pick, and you got to reward a guy like that. So, for as a fan base, if I'm watching you let a guy like that walk after doing nothing for us this offseason, I'm going to freaking hate you. I'm going to really dislike what you're doing to my organization. So I feel like the pressure is going to be on the Bears. And I think that this statement to me gives Roquan leverage because Ryan Pace came out and he made up some bullshit, bro, about it's hard because he doesn't have an agent. And it's just no, you're just trying to get over on him because he doesn't have an agent. And I understand it. I understand that's why you were doing it. But listen, it didn't work out. And you got to pay the man. So go ahead, make him a top paid linebacker in the league and just rip the Band-Aid off because you got plenty of money and you really have nothing to lose in this scenario. So I don't see any reason why they would let Roquan leave. And I think that this deal is going to have to get done.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, man, you don't have much stars on this team right now as it's constructed. So why not lock down the best star you have, especially on defense? So I'm with you, man. You got to pay the man. Personally, get out of my division. Hope you do get traded. But as a personal standpoint, put emotions to the side about me as a Packer fan. As a human being, I hope you go get your money, Roquan. So, yeah,
we'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye out for him. Let's slide over to the Colts and the Bills. Really not too much to talk about here. I just want to point out that so no Jonathan Taylor in the preseason because they're obviously saving their superstar. So it was all on Matt Ryan. Bills played no starters. The Bills kind of embarrassed the Colts a little bit here. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, the Colts defense did fine. The Colts defense did done. They had like 5 interceptions or something. But that Colts offense looked real slow to start. They couldn't really get any points on the board for a while. Eventually, they did get a field goal, but they got stopped on 4th down. Frank Wright was being pretty aggressive with the 4th downs, but the offense with just the passing game and just Matt Ryan, I'm not going to lie to you guys, it didn't look great. I know it's preseason. Let's not panic, but I just wanted to throw that out there. All right, and then the Dolphins and the Bucks. Bucks, no starters. Dolphins had some starters. Didn't really watch the game too much on that one. It was really boring. Yeah. But what's worth noting about the Dolphins here, okay? They made a killer trade, all right, to the Texans. They sent their boy Adam Shaheen over there for like a 6th-round pick or something. Okay, Shaheen gets there.
Yeah, 7th
Texans
round.
do a physical with him. And it turns out this boy ain't ready to play football. All right, so they had to cancel the trade. They sent the man back. Within 24 hours, he's on the IR. So listen, the only reason I bring this up, okay, Max, do you think the Dolphins were trying to pull a fast one? Do you think that he showed up to the fucking training room and they're like, oh, this dude's knee? I don't know. And they went and talked to Chris, and he was like, oh, let's get this guy out of here. He trades him out of there, and he gets caught halfway.
Yeah, I definitely think they try to pull a fast one. And, it's the Dolphins too. Now we know a little bit about the front office of this team. They're a little shady, if you will. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, as soon as I got the report, man, I had to text you. I was like, "Can you believe this right here?" Like, now we know this guy isn't like he wasn't even probably going to make the final 53. He was probably going to be a practice squad tight end. I never heard of the guy, honestly, so that's why I'm assuming that. But yeah, like the fact that they got like at least a 7th rounder or something for him, like a 6th or 7th. It was something very minimum. They got something for him, and they're like, all right, cool, he's gone. We got something for him at least. And then the physical comes back. It's like, yeah, man, something's not right with this guy's knee. And like you said, the next day or so, he's on the season-ending IR list already. So that was just hilarious. That was like one of the funniest stories of the week for me.
I'm gonna be honest with you though. I love the strategy. If that was my GM, I would be praising him. I'd be like, thank you. That is like clever as shit. Sure, they're not gonna trust you next time, but that's all right. At least we got something here and now, right?
Yeah. Wallace, we're talking about the Dolphins. We're talking about the Dolphins, bro. Like
the Texans took him, but they wouldn't take him, if you know what I mean. They accepted the trade, but they were like, no, this guy is not ready for football.
Yeah. What's up, King Pookie? What's up, bro? But yeah, like that was a hilarious story, man.
Yeah, but that's the only thing that was interesting from those two teams for these past couple of weeks. But let's slide over to the Saints and the Texans. Not too much here. Just worth noting that the Saints played mostly no starters. The Olave got to play. It looked like they were letting some young people play. But one thing worth noting here is that their first round left tackle, the guy that's been getting a bunch of fights in training camp.
Oh yeah, Trevor Penning.
He didn't make the start. He wasn't starting, but he did play. So he came in second. So I'm not sure if there's a competition going on there, or if he just has if he hasn't done enough to be listed as a starter. I don't know what the plan is there, but it looks like he is not a plug-and-play starter for them.
I will say this
as of right now.
I will say this: who did do well in this game? Damian Pierce. The guy looked good. The running back for the Texans. Yeah, sorry to cut you off.
He's been building a lot of hype too. No, you're good.
Yeah, man, he's having a great camp. He looks pretty good over there, man. The Texans.
Watch out.
Exactly. That running back room is wide open for the number 1 spot. So I saw the film on him, and I was like, damn. He looks pretty good, man.
Yeah. And speaking of running backs for the Saints, so we all know that everybody was pretty much expecting Alvin Kamara to get this 6-game suspension, but it looks like he is not going to get the suspension this year. It looks like I don't know if they just got their hands busy with the Watson situation or what, but it sounds like they're not going to decision that until next season. So some good news for the Saints, because they really have a team that is all in this year. I mean, their roster. Yeah. It's all up to Jameis. Jameis is going to decide how far that team can go.
That's confusing to me. Like, why would you pan it off till next season when, this whole thing happened Pro Bowl weekend, like
I
around
know.
February, so what are you going to do? Pan it off till next February? Like, I don't know, man. I hate when they do stuff like that. Now, the Watson thing is different. That's a different story because, they were waiting for the criminal charges and all that stuff to drop. But, I mean, Kamara, he got arrested, and then he was out the next day on bail or something. But I would assume they were going to make this suspension discipline ruling this season. So this kind of came as a shock to me. I personally didn't think he was going to get suspended at all. I know what happened was kind of bad, and especially in the media, but I didn't think he was going to get suspended at all. But the fact that they're pawning this off till next season kind of shocks me a little
They're
bit.
busy. They're busy. They're trying to work things out with Deshaun and his team. They're negotiating, seeing what's a fair suspension. So they just don't have time for this right now. Look, Kamara just punched the guy. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, he beat him up.
To be honest with you, he shouldn't have gotten the elevator, okay? No, I'm kidding, guys. But
Roger Goodell.
That's how they're looking at it right now. If you're the NFL, you're like, I really don't care about him punching this dude. I'm really worried about this guy that is paying 24 women for sexual misconduct during his massage therapy session.
Like the assistant or secretary for Roger Goodell knocks on the door. He's like, hey, what about Kamara? Remember this happened before, next season. I don't have time right now. Next season.
And he obviously can't trust Sue to do shit. She gave free. I mean, if he leaves it up to Sue, Kamara's definitely not getting suspended, okay? Because we just saw the punishment she laid out for 24 women. All right, one guy getting knocked out, he's going to be suspended half a quarter. He's going to be suspended 7 minutes of a game.
Good old Sue Robinson, Yeah,
she's definitely a woman of the players, all right? But on that note, let's go ahead and slide away from this game because this game is nothing to talk about. We're going to slide to another game that's even less to talk about, all right? The Cowboys and the Broncos. Nobody played in either of this game. The only thing that I wanted to point out here is, as we all probably remember, the Cowboys were the most penalized team in the NFL last year. In this first preseason game, the Cowboys had 21 total penalties. 17 of them were accepted, okay? Listen, then after the game, okay, Mike McCarthy goes to the post game, all right? And it's almost like he was annoyed that the media was asking him about it. He was like, yeah, I don't think this has any correlation to the regular season, and I don't think this is anything to worry about. I'm going to be honest with you guys. If I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm a little worried that this guy isn't fucking worried, okay? Because it's your job. And penalties are like, dude, penalties are like a direct reflection of coaching, bro. Like, to me, the penalties are like a direct thing of coaching. Either they don't know what the hell to do, or they're not disciplined enough to not try to do it early or whatever the hell, or do it right. So I actually would be concerned if I was a Cowboys fan. I know it was the backups, but this is just culture right here. Like, can we not get a freaking penalty and play by the rules?
French, I'm worried, bro. And French is, hey, everyone in the chat right now, this guy is a Cowboys fan down below. So French is worried. We all should be worried. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm with you, man. Like, direct, correlation to the coaching staff, discipline. And we saw from Hard Knocks, man, when the stuff like this happens, you're going to run some laps, man.
Dude, honestly, it sounds like they need a Dan Campbell. It sounds like that's the one thing missing from this team, because I've had Dan Campbell they'd be doing up downs all damn day with those freaking penalties. All right. They still might not win games, but it won't be because of penalties.
Spence said Rodgers might have been onto something with McCarthy, the drama that unfolded there with
absolutely, yeah,
the Packers and them. But yeah, Spence, I'm with you, man.
Yeah, but let's slide over to some more meaningless football. All right, we got the Browns and the Jaguars. We're not going to talk about this game at all, but there is some news. All right, as we've kind of alluded to, the Watson lawsuit, they're saying that there could be a resolution as early as today. I'm actually really hoping that it just drops while we're doing this.
Right, while we're
honestly,
live.
That would be so ideal. But it says today or tomorrow it could come because settlement talks have heightened, but they're unsure how long Harvey will wait to make the ruling if they are still like, how long are you going to give them to negotiate before you're like, all right, dude, we just got to freaking do something here. So yeah, I'm just going to lay the suspension out. How long do you think that they'll give them?
I mean, they won a year.
No, not the suspension. I'm saying how long.
Oh,
like, screw it. We're just going to freaking suspend you, dude. We're just doing it.
I would say maybe by the end of this week of preseason. Yeah, I mean, like it's week 2. You know, by the maybe Sunday, they'll probably have a ruling. I would guess because, like you said, they just need to get this over with, man. And I mean, it's gonna be ugly, bro. It's gonna be ugly. It's not gonna. I think when they do have a ruling, Watson will fire back. He'll probably appeal it, of course, and then it's gonna be a never ending thing, bro. Like I feel like that's what's gonna happen.
I'm
And
with you. I feel like we're headed to a Ezekiel Elliott type of situation where this is going to end up in court, and
yeah.
they're just going to be going back and forth. He's going to be suspended, unsuspended, suspended, unsuspended. I don't know, man. I think we are a long ways away from this being done, but who knows? Maybe they'll settle. And honestly, if I'm Watson, I really don't see why you wouldn't just settle, bro. Like, if you could get anything that is less than a season, why would you not just take it? Because the NFL is just going to do it anyways. So, like, don't you just want this to be done with? That's my thing. But listen,
I bet when he got that first ruling, the 6, he was happy as hell. NFL's like, nah, hold on, bro.
No, actually, they said there were reports that his camp wasn't happy, which I think is a lie. I think that's one of those like save face type of situations where you're pretending like you weren't happy with it, but really you wanted it to end up somewhere like that. But I do want to touch on Watson's return because Watson did get to play for the first time in this preseason game. And I'm going to put it bluntly. He freaking sucked, guys.
Yeah,
he looked awful. The Jaguars defense absolutely embarrassed this dude, and I love it. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about it. I just love it.
Well,
all right.
I saw there was one play because, you know, if you guys want Jaguar news, you got to watch that one Jaguar show here on the channel. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk a little bit Jaguars, but that's the main show on this channel about some Jags news, man. But I saw this one play that Watson did. It was a rollout. You know, he fired it, you know, like on the run. Dude, it was to nobody, man. Like
you missed him by
nobody was around, bro.
You're talking about,
yeah. You were there live.
He had some other stuff too, though. Like somebody dropped a pass on him, and I think that there was also a play where we just got in the backfield like so fast. So it was a collaborative team sucking. I will say that. Like it wasn't just Watson; everybody sucked. But Watson definitely did not look like he was worth that $230 million contract in that moment. But one thing that I'm going to call it out again, okay, because we're taking ownership this week. You took ownership of us not having a show last week. Okay, guys, I had a big screw up, all right? Listen, you guys saw the you sick fuck chance coming out of Duval, okay, with Watson right there.
Yep.
I was literally like 3 seats over. I literally watched them do it. I was with the guy that recorded the video. And I'm going to be honest with you, I just didn't think to do it. I didn't think to record it and put it on social media. I didn't think it would blow up. I honestly thought this should be as expected. Like, I would expect Watson to get a lot of shit every time he steps in an NFL stadium, at least for this year. But I totally dropped the ball, so I'm sorry.
Awareness. If you had a Madden rating, your awareness would have been at 0, man, because you were at the first NFL game since the Watson saga started. He is playing a football game, the first game since here in Duval, Jacksonville, Florida, and you were right there, man. As soon as you heard the chance, it should have rang in your ear. Just take the phone out.
I should have known. And also, like, I don't want to like dog it, but like, dude, it really wasn't that many people. That's the other thing. Like, it sounds really loud in the video, but it was just a small section of people. So
it was like 5 people.
No, it was more than that. It was about, I'm going to say somewhere between 12 and 20.
Yeah. But yeah, man, shout out to Josh. Shout out to our boy Josh. Going viral, baby.
You should have asked Barstool for money like I told you.
For real, though. They stole his fucking video and posted
it
on their own channel.
They asked.
Oh, they asked him? Oh,
they asked him. But I told him you should ask them for money, and he didn't. And I was like, all right, whatever. But anyways, shout out to Josh because that was a great video. Great call. You made it viral. And he's done that multiple times. That's not even the first time he's done that. But listen, a couple more storylines for the Browns, though. All right, Kareem Hunt is sitting out of team drills. And he didn't play in the preseason, which I think regardless he wasn't going to play in the preseason. But sitting out because he's looking for a new contract. The Browns said, yeah, listen, buddy, we just paid Nick Chubb, and I just don't see it in the budget. But he requested a trade. And the Browns said, listen, no,
Yeah.
No, we're not trading you.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that? A team finally taking an opposite stand. Normally these teams have been caving to these players, but the Browns said, listen, Kareem, you're going to sit there and you're just going to play when we tell you to.
Yeah. I mean, I respect the Browns for saying no because one, they have enough drama to deal with because of the Watson thing. Their starting center just got out for the season. Blanking on his name,
I
but
think it's
he's
Nick
done.
Martin.
Yes, I think that is who it is.
It is Nick Martin.
He's done. You guys took him out during the Jaguar and Browns game.
Devon Hamilton folded him like a lawn chair. Like I can't even lie to you. Like that play, he absolutely destroyed him. But yeah, go on. Sorry.
I'm saying like they have a lot of stuff going on, man. The last thing they need is more distraction. You know, if I'm in that locker room, I have personally never played football, on an amateur high school team, but I would assume like you have enough distractions in that locker room as is with the Watson thing and all that crap. And then now here comes one of your best offensive players. I mean, in personal opinion, I think Kareem Hunt is one of their best players on offense, saying they want out. They want to trade. So that's the last thing they need right now is more headlines, more distractions. And I'm with the Browns, man. I mean, they don't need to trade them. Yeah, like, no, we're not trading you. Sorry. What are you going to do? Start the rest of the season? I doubt it. Remember, Melvin Gordon tried that crap, and that didn't work out for him at all. So I think Kareem Hunt deserves his money. He's a great player. What happened with him and the Chiefs, with him kicking somebody, a woman? You don't do that, Kareem. But, I still think he's a serviceable, really good running back in this league. Still kind of young, and now the whole trading thing has came up. So if I am a team, like who do you think would try to get Kareem Hunt? Because I have a team on the top of my head that would fit.
It's probably the same team,
now.
but I've been preaching this team to go out and get an all-star running back for a while now. But the Buffalo freaking Bills, Kareem Hunt to slide in there. Okay, I understand that they just drafted James Cook. But, dude, I mean, this is a sure thing. If you get Kareem Hunt, he's going to get you 1,000 rushing yards and probably add you another 400 receiving. He's the all-purpose 3-down back. He can do it all. But I'm with you as far as Cleveland. I don't think that they should trade him. And I think it's also because, look, if Watson's going to be gone and you want to compete, okay, this is your insurance right here. Nick Chubb is the heart of your team, all right? And this Kareem Hunt is like the blood flowing through the veins. Okay. You still need him. He's still useful. And if Nick Chubb does go down, you still have a chance to win games with Kareem Hunt. So I just think that the Browns are built in a way where they need a star running back for this season if they want to compete.
What's up, Cameron? The Saints don't own the Packers, by the way, man. But I was thinking the Raiders. Man. The whole Josh Jacobs thing. Well, they didn't pick up his 5th year. They probably don't believe him, like you said, on that one Jaguar show. He played in the Hall of Fame game, so that just shows you what kind of a player that he's been. They don't trust him. New coaching staff, new ownership. Well, not ownership, but GM,
front office,
president. Yeah, front office role. I mean, I would think, dude, if Kareem Hunt went to the Raiders, that'd be nice. But I'm with you on the Bills, though. The Bills would be nasty as hell too. But yeah, I was
just kind of disagree with you on the Raiders, though, because this is why. This is the only reason why. Because Josh McDaniels is he came from New England. He ran the offense, and he was a guy that really just did running back by committee. Like he's never had a star running back. And I feel like for you to go get Kareem Hunt, you're actually going to have to give up a little bit. Like, I mean, we talked about them trading Damian Harris. I think that the Patriots trading Damian Harris, I think Kareem Hunt's worth way more than Damian Harris. That's just my opinion. I mean, I understand that Damian Harris had a nice season, but Kareem Hunt, I feel like I've seen him every time he's on the football field. He's a game changer. So I just think that you have to give up a little bit more to go get Kareem Hunt. I don't think Josh McDaniels will be willing to do it. But on the flip side, when I look at the Bills, I'm like, dude, you guys are all in on a Super Bowl right now. Load this team up with superstars. And if you could go get Kareem Hunt, I definitely would do it. I'd even consider as high as the 2nd round if I was the Bills, just because I'm like, look, I'm in position to strike. So why not?
Just to put in perspective, like Kareem Hunt, he's only making 1.3 mil this season. He's a free agent next. Yeah, he's a free agent next season. So I don't blame the guy for wanting a new contract. I mean, 1.3 mil. No, I think he's worth way more than
Well
that.
over that,
Yeah. So
definitely.
I mean, I don't blame him at all. But like you said, man, the Browns, I mean, they had the right to say no. So
Yeah, and
I'm
they
with you.
know, like look, they got him in a situation where Kareem Hunt had to take a prove it deal. He had to sign a contract and just be a good person because of what happened in Kansas City. So that was like
Hmm.
the whole point of it. But to his point, he has proven it. He has not gotten in trouble since he's been there. He has not been an issue
Yeah.
whatsoever, and he has been useful for this team. He's been productive,
Oh
even
yeah.
with Nick Chubb in the driver's seat. So I definitely see it from both ways, but if I'm the Browns, I am not letting you go because we just need you this season. I mean, even if you walk next season, fine, but I need you this year, so we're
I
gonna take
think
you.
I think it's a wrong timing too for him to come out there and say, like say like the Watson saga is over, whatever. I think it's just like wrong timing coming out and
Yeah,
saying,
I
"Hey,
mean,
I need
if
a
you're
new
gonna
contract."
ask, you should have asked over the offseason, but maybe he
Yeah,
did, and maybe they kept like negotiating or pulling his chain or whatever. Maybe it was something like
yeah,
that. So we don't really know. So I'm not going to get too much into those details, but I do agree this late into the offseason, it's hard to get yourself a new contract
yep.
after we just went and got a $230 million fully guaranteed quarterback. But one last little piece of news for the Browns. Jakeem Grant tore his Achilles and he is out for the year. The All-Pro returner that is
Yep,
killer for special teams. I wouldn't say that affects him too much on offense, but he definitely is somebody that can make an impact on the field at times. So
for
hopefully he'll
sure.
get healthy and they'll see him back next season. Let's slide over to the LA preseason bowl. The Rams taking on the Chargers, where no starters played, so we're not going to talk about the game whatsoever. But a guy we are going to talk about, Derwin James, gets some big money, 4-year, $76.4 million contract. Max, was Derwin James worth it?
I definitely do. And let's put in perspective, guys. We're gonna bring up a slide right here to say kind of like where the market is right now for safeties. Derwin James got a 4-year, $76 million extension. So
Yeah.
now he's making about $19.1 million a season annually. That just went above Michael Fitzpatrick, Jamal Adams, way overpaid, number 3. Harrison Smith, very underrated safety in this league, and so is Justin Simmons, who's on. I know Justin Simmons. He's you shouted him out quite a few times on the show, but that's where this safety market is right now. Personally, I think yes, he's worth it because one, he could play anywhere on the field. You could put him at linebacker. You could even put him on an edge rush. I'm not saying he's gonna like bulldoze these O lines, but that's what type of safety Derwin James is. He's a ball hawk. Dude can do it all, man. He's an all pro safety. It flabbergasts me how many teams pass on this guy in the freaking draft, man. But Chargers got one, and I definitely think he gets paid. Oh, he deserves all that money that he just got paid today. What do you
Yeah,
think?
just to play devil's advocate, okay? Because I'm with you. I definitely think you have to pay somebody like Derwin James because of how freaking talented this guy is. I mean, you said
Yeah.
it, he can do it all. At FSU, he literally played defensive end at times to rush the passer. So this guy literally can move anywhere on the field and be successful. But I think
Mhm.
to play devil's advocate, the reason you would argue to not give him the money is because he has had some injury history
Yeah.
over there in
Good
LA.
point.
I think he missed 2 years total or like close to 2 years. I know it was over a season due to injuries. So that would be the argument against it. But you have to pay a guy like that just because he is so talented. He's an absolute game changer. So I think that, look, I mean, you look at guys like Jamal Adams getting that kind of money. I mean, Derwin James, you can definitely justify paying that kind of money. But let's turn it to Jessie Bates for just a second, because as we all know, he's playing on the franchise tag this year.
Yep.
So what do you think? What do you think? Is Jessie Bates going to be the next guy to get paid, like as far as before the season, like or during the season or whatever? Like, or is he going to have to play out that tag and hit free agency?
Now it's gonna be tough because let's put Jesse Bates in this category right here with Derwin James and Fitzpatrick, Adam Smith, and Simmons. I personally put him just below Fitzpatrick, and that's just me. Jesse Bates is good. I
You put
think
him
he
that
deserves.
high?
Well, I think the reason why
Oh,
is
like
because
his like what
Adams.
he'll get paid. Okay,
The
I see
money
what you're
wise,
saying.
the money wise, yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah, so like I think just because Jamal Adams kind of did break the market for safeties because
he screwed shit up.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to put him above Jamal Adams. If I'm Jessie Bates, I'm going to be like, yo, listen. And you know who else isn't on this list that we haven't talked about? Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. So those two are next up too as well. But, we're going to stick with Jessie Bates here because he's holding out for his contract. He hasn't even played anything yet, not practiced, nothing. But
they do say he plans to play the season.
Yeah. Okay. So I think he might have to bite the bullet this season and play under the tag. But personally, I think Jessie Bates is worth more than Jamal Adams. Fitzpatrick, I would put him above Jessie Bates, and Derwin James above Jessie Bates as well. But I definitely think he deserves more than Adams does. And to put
that's a good take with the money too, because I really didn't consider that, but yeah, if you're Bates, it's like you can honestly justify being paid up here because of Jamal Adams, because that is the one guy where it's like, I actually am better than that dude. So what the hell? All right.
Yeah. And to answer your question about Derwin, he missed just once. He played 5 games in 2019. Then he missed the whole 2020 season.
Okay.
So he missed like a season and a half, like you said, with injuries.
Yeah,
but
the talent is there. I mean, absolutely, it's A1 talent as far as Derwin James goes. So, definitely think that it was worth it to get that done. And if you look at the Chargers' first round picks the last few years, they've been really good, man. They really just have not missed. So at least the last 5 seasons or so. So just to throw that up there for people to Tom Telesco, listen, he's been there for a while, but he's definitely got himself a nice little formula these past few
look
seasons.
At that. Look at that right there, man. Like the Chargers are building something special, man. And and they just went to go get freaking Khalil Mack. They just signed Robertson. Who's the defensive tackle guy, the Robertson Day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Sebastian Day.
Sebastian Day. Yeah, there it is. And JC Jackson as well, man. But look at that. Shout out to Tom Telesco, the GM of the Chargers, for making this team right here. Like there's not often that you see 5 years of just straight hits in the first round, bro. Like, yeah, I saw that from Field Yates' tweet earlier today on Twitter, but I was like, damn, man, shout out to them for real.
Yeah, that is a very high success rate right there. But let's turn it to the other LA team, okay? Because there's just a little bit of news coming out on them, all right? We haven't talked about the Matt Stafford injury yet, okay? He's dealing with an elbow injury known as thrower's elbow. So whoever created that name is a real fucking creative, right?
Yeah, right.
He's expected to have to deal with this all season, and basically they're going to have to manage his workload throwing the ball. But he has been practicing in full in certain activities. I think it's just the team drills, and then he's not doing the individual drills. But what are your thoughts on his injury? Do you think it's going to be an issue for them?
I want to say no, but then again, you got to think about how old Stafford is. You know what I'm saying? I think it won't affect him. He'll play the whole season unless something happens with the injury. Like maybe he gets hit wrong on that elbow, and then he does have to miss some time. But I think personally, Stafford's going to be okay. He's a tough dude, man. We've seen Stafford basically play with like a broken back, like a herniated disc in his back or something like that, So coming from that standpoint, like I think Stafford's definitely going to suck it up, man up, and be out there. And I think he'll be okay unless something happens, like I said, like him falling wrong on it or getting hit, something like that. So I think he'll be okay. I think it's just I think it's just news to report for now, but nothing really to take serious for me personally.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Only also because I consider this is his second year in this offense, and I think regardless of even if this injury was hurting him and it was kind of hurting his performance, I think his experience in this offense and the chemistry around this team would literally just make up for it. Like it would just be a way where he would at least be able to maintain that same level of play he was playing last year. But one last thing to note for the Rams, Cam Akers is dealing with a soft tissue injury and is being held out of the preseason. They're saying it's not serious. He's expected week 1. Okay. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it really matters. Even if Cam Akers wasn't there, I think they'd be fine. But
Yeah.
hopefully for Cam that he can be, because he is another guy that has that talent where he could definitely take a step up. We saw it at the very end of his rookie season. So we'll see what this team's able to do there.
I like who they drafted to Kenneth Walker out of Michigan
That's not
State.
him. Kenneth Walker was drafted by the Seahawks.
No, who's the they drafted Williams. Sorry. Kyron Williams, I think his name is. But
okay.
the running back, yeah, my bad. I got it mixed up. It's Kyron Williams. I think he played for Notre Dame, if I'm not mistaken. The running back from Notre Dame. But that guy's pretty good too, man. But yeah, like
they still have Henderson
as
well.
Yep, they still have
so you're right. They just wouldn't be in like a scary situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Cam Akers was not available week 1. But let's go ahead and slide over. All right, we're just gonna skip over the Vikings and Raiders because they ain't got nothing going on over there. All right, but the Seahawks and the Steelers played in preseason week 1, and this is worth talking about because guess what, guys? We got 2 quarterback competitions going on right now. Okay, in Seattle, we got Drew Lock. All right, taking on Geno Smith to try to become the starting quarterback. And listen, Geno got to start in this game, okay? Drew was supposed to start in this next week 2 preseason game, but he got COVID. So he's going to have to miss. So, Max, how bad is it going to hurt for Drew Lock that he's out with COVID on the game that he was supposed to start?
From what I've been hearing in camp, Geno's been lining it up in camp, bro. That's what I've been hearing around Twitter and about, the reporters covering the Seahawks and stuff. So that's not good for Drew Lock. If I'm hearing those reports, him lining up in camp, throwing perfect spirals and stuff like that, especially now, like you said, he's getting COVID, missing this game coming up. You know how the NFL is, bro. You don't get a lot of shots. So when your opportunity goes by you, and this what happened. Remember in Denver. This happened in Denver too. Remember the whole quarterback room got COVID, and because they weren't like. This is when prime
they weren't
2020.
doing the protocols.
Yeah, they weren't doing the protocols.
Not doing the protocols.
So Drew, didn't you learn, buddy? Didn't you learn? I know it's a lot more different now in 2022 than it was in 2020, but still, you got to fight for you're fighting for your life out there, man. Geno Smith, he can steal this job from you. I think he does. I think Geno Smith is definitely going to be the week 1 starter. But yeah, it's definitely a big blow for Drew Lock's chances.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that him not playing this game pretty much solidifies the fact that Geno will be the week 1 starter. And as far as the reports about Geno lighting it up in practice, I'm sure he's been better than Drew Lock. But you know how they say, like iron sharpens iron. I think in this case, like
don't do it.
Cotton softens cotton. So I don't think that we should take the Geno lighting it up reports really hardcore.
I know. I was just saying.
I know how these reports come out for sure. I'm a Jaguars fan. I see it every freaking year. So trust me. I just want to throw that out there in case you have not yet experienced a cotton softens cotton type of situation that the Jaguars seem to deal with every single training camp. But another thing worth noting with the Seahawks, man, is the running back situation. So Kenneth Walker recently had hernia surgery today, which was really weird because I got a report that said that Pete Carroll said it wasn't hernia surgery, but then some other report came out and said that it was hernia surgery. I'm pretty sure it was hernia surgery.
Yeah, it was hernia.
But he does plan to be back by week 1. Rashad Penny also dealing with a injury, a groin issue. And Pete Carroll also said, hey, this injury isn't that serious. Don't worry about it. Listen, if I'm a Seahawks fan, I am freaking worried, okay? Because look, man. Rashad Penny has shown us the talent, but Rashad Penny has also showed us year after year, this guy is going to get hurt. Rashad Penny is not going to play a whole season. That's just what it is. He's just not, okay? And if Kenneth Walker is also dealing with an injury at the same time, okay, we're going to go back to DJ Dallas, okay? We have no quarterback, all right? Mm-hmm. And Pete Carroll keeps saying that we're not in rebuild mode. What are you talking about, dude? Look at our team, all right? But that's all I got for the Seahawks, man. They are screwed.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Like, if I hear anything about Penny being injured, I'm pulling hair out if I'm a Seahawks fan. I mean, you just alluded to it. Like, this dude's been hurt his whole career, man. And you just dealt with Chris Carson retiring because of an injury, a neck injury. So, yeah, I'm definitely a little worried if I'm a Seahawks fan, for sure.
Yeah. They should just honestly go into total tank mode. You need to trade Jamal Adams, okay? Because that didn't work out. Listen, we could talk about that all day, but we will end up talking about it this offseason coming up after the Seahawks potentially end up with the number 1 overall pick. Who freaking knows at this point? Let's turn it over to the Steelers side, okay? Where we got a true QB battle, all right? A real competition going on, okay? We got Mitch Trubisky, all right? The first round pick, Kenny Pickett, and then apparently Mason Rudolph's in this thing. That's what they're saying.
Mason Rudolph's taking team reps one.
They're all taking first team reps. Okay.
Yeah.
Pickett did the same thing. All right. So the Steelers have a flat out competition. Okay. But as far as performance in this game, I'm going to be honest with you. Mitch looked pretty good. Okay. And obviously Kenny Pickett was perfect. So take that what you will. Max, who should start week 1 for the Steelers?
I think it's Mitch, man. You like, now, who do I think he's going to finish it? Maybe not, but I think Mitch definitely deserves to at least start week 1. And I mean, he's the vet. You sign him in here. Of course, you draft the, successor of Ben Roethlisberger and Kenny Pickett, which, he did well, but we got to take it with a grain of salt because it was in the fourth quarter, guys. You know what I'm saying? You're going against very little to none talent. I'm not going to poo-poo on those dudes. They have way more talent than I do. But, I mean, they're third or fourth stringers, guys. I mean, he led a 75-yard touchdown drive, to win the game, actually. Like, it was like 3 seconds left of the game when he threw the touchdown to win it. So, of course, the Steeler fans were going crazy, screaming, Kenny, cheering on him on. But I think Mitch definitely deserves the week 1 start. By week 4, we'll see if he's still going to be the starter or not. But I think Mason Rudolph, no shot. Even though he did look okay, he didn't look bad. Because
I'm not doing it.
I want to shout out one guy from this game, and that's George Pickens.
We'll get to him in a second. Okay. I got a section for him. Don't worry about that. Let's stay with the quarterbacks because I want to comment here. All right, because I do have some opinions here. Okay, I want to follow up on your point about the maybe by week 4. But let me ask you this: like, if you have a plan to bring him along, bring Pickett along and try to start him around week 4 or even at any point in the season, like, why not just do it week 1? Like, what do you think would give you the advantage there? Do you just think you have a better chance to win early with Mitch, or like what would be the strategy there?
Because Tomlin, that's not how Tomlin really rolls, man. And another thing is you don't put a rookie out there and to the fire unless you absolutely need to. Like the Jaguar, for instance, when they drafted Trevor Lawrence, we all knew he was going to start week 1, right? But the Steelers, them already having Mitchell Trubisky there, I mean, freshly signed free agent, 2-year deal with them. I'm assuming he's going to be the starter. So I don't think you throw the rookie out there. What if he fails and then Trubisky comes in, lights it up? Pickett's whole confidence is shot at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like as a rookie, being benched for like the vet. So that's why I think you got to flip those. You got to get the vet in first. If he doesn't work out, then you bring in Kenny Pickett, the rookie. If he does get benched, then he should understand, like, hey, it's not working right now. You have a long career ahead of you, man. But like right now in the season, we need to go back to Mitch. Like I just feel like it's like a confidence thing with like these rookie quarterbacks. Like you don't throw them out there to the wolves unless you absolutely need to.
But I feel like this isn't really like a throw you out to the wolves kind of situation because the Steelers do have like playmakers on the team. You have Najee Harris that you can lean on. Obviously, the offensive line is like subpar, but like the receivers are solid. Obviously, Pickens is getting up some hype. I don't know. Just when I look at it, like if we're going to make it a fair competition, I mean, you bring up a good point because Pickens did do it against second and third teamers. But I feel like after seeing that, if I'm Mike Tomlin and I'm a Steelers fan, I want to see Pickett in with the first team this preseason game and see what that looks like.
Yeah, good point. Maybe they will. Maybe they will put him in, and I think they should because preseason's the time to do it, man. If you're going to like give the guy a nod to start, do it in the preseason at least for at least 1 week, like when it doesn't matter. Like if you lose this game.
And that might be the plan. I don't really know. I don't know what the plan is for as far as the starting the preseason game. Maybe it is, but
I think it should be a good plan to do because, like I said, you don't need to win these games. I know, like, you always want to win. Like, don't get me wrong, football, you always want to win. But if you lose, it's not going to hurt you. You know, you're out there kind of auditioning to be a starter or a backup in this league. So might as well put them out there. Now, another thing I would say is maybe they start Mitchell in week 2 of, coming up this weekend. And what if he just doesn't do good at all? So that leaves week 3. Definitely start Kenny then, but it's different when week 3 hits. A lot of teams don't really play their starters. Week 2 is the week to do it.
Hello, you're not going to give Mason a start?
No, fuck no, dude.
I'm kidding.
Let
me ask you this, though, because obviously we did see the reports that Mason Rudolph got some snaps with the ones. Do you feel like this is just a complete waste of time giving him reps with the ones? Because I feel like you're literally taking away from the quarterback competition here. Because look, Mason's been there for a while now. We've seen him start games. We know this guy is not the answer. I feel like giving him starts or giving him reps with the ones is just so pointless. It's almost like we just want to make you happy. And like, he's not a guy where I feel like he's worthy of even like a let's make him happy. Like, why? What the fuck is he going to do? He's going to leave you for another team? Give me a break.
No, there's nothing really to report much on Mason Rudolph. It's an eye test. We saw him out there for a whole season. They benched him for Duck Hodges, for God's sakes. I mean, no, it's a waste of time.
Not good. But let's slide over to the receiver core for a second. Obviously, the Steelers signed Deontay Johnson to that 2-year, $36 million extension. Well-deserved. But this is a team that has been able to just create wide receivers lately. You had Juju Smith-Schuster. Obviously, Chase Claypool has been an up-and-comer. He didn't make that jump last season, but he definitely has the skill set to do it. It's just getting the mentals and not making the stupid mistakes that he made last year, like the celebrating with the time running, just little shit that he needs to clean up. But now the Steelers have a new young and up-and-comer, and somebody that I was really down on in the draft. George Pickens came and looked the part in this first preseason game. And look, obviously we see the catches. Those were nice. For me, it was the way he was manhandling people and throwing people on the ground. Look, I see a future Hines Ward there. Hines Ward used to tear people up blocking, and I can see that with Pickens after seeing that. Raheem actually showed me another clip of him doing it at Georgia too. So I guess this is kind of just his thing. What are your thoughts on Pickens' performance so far?
It kind of stings me, man, because we haven't seen Christian Watson yet. He just came off the PUP list, by the way. But I wanted George Pickens, bro. When we traded up in the second round, I was like, please, George Pickens, please. And, we got Watson, so I'm not going to, compare the two yet. You can't do that. But, the tape wowed me a little bit. The backhand, or it was like over the shoulder, toe touch, right in the back of the end zone, right in the corner, touchdown. Good throw by Mason Rudolph, by the way. That's what I was saying. Like, Mason Rudolph had a nice little throw right there, but and then that block that I sent you, man, I was like, bro, look at this. Like, and put his ass on the ground, dude. What's up, Daniel? What's going on, bro?
It was Mike Evans worthy. That was another guy that does shit like that. Mike Evans. He's a guy that'll throw your ass to the ground.
Yeah. But like you said, man, this organization puts out receivers, dude. And like the one thing they also do is move on from receivers at the right time as well. Because we got to take back to Mike Wallace, of course, Antonio Brown. Now
Emmanuel
Juju.
Sanders.
Yep, Emmanuel Sanders. Yep, you're right.
Dude, they've had so many receivers come out of there.
Shout out to them knowing when to move on. So
yeah, it always seems to work out for them. It definitely does.
Yeah.
But we've spent enough time on this game. We really need to keep it moving because of time. So let's slide over to another quarterback competition I want to talk about. We got Baker and Sam Darnold competing for that Carolina Panthers starting quarterback job. They took on the Commanders this weekend. The only thing I'm going to say about it is Baker clearly looked better than Sam Darnold. I've been saying it from the beginning. I really don't feel like this is a competition whatsoever. I feel like this is one of those things where they're just entertaining Sam Darnold, but they know for a fact Baker's going to start because, look, I mean, Baker had his struggles, okay? Specifically, the one thing that I think of is the botched snap where he fumbled it. But, I mean, look, he just got there. I mean, they're still building that chemistry, so I'm not too concerned about little things like that. That can be worked out over time. But Baker clearly looked better than Sam Darnold. And that's all I really have on that. I just wanted to point that out there.
Yeah, I piggyback off you. I mean, I agree with you 100%. And, the reports coming out from their camps been saying, like, Baker's been lighting it up. I mean, if you are a freaking fan of this show, like, y'all know we both don't like Sam Darnold. He stinks. So I think Baker easily should win this job. So, yeah, I'm with you, man. There's nothing really else to report. Baker should win this number 1 spot easily.
Yeah, and let's just slide over to the Commanders for a second. Okay, let's stick with the boring stuff. All right, I know the Commanders aren't sexy, but there's a lot of chaos coming out of that Washington building, even outside of their owner Dan Snyder and all those allegations. Okay, Wentz got absolutely drilled by a reporter the other day. This guy, dude, I mean, he sounded like he just really wanted to let Wentz have it, because he said, "Listen, Wentz, I'm gonna be real, my guy. Philly didn't want you. Colts took you. They said, fuck this, sent you off. How do you feel about this season? Is this your last chance to prove you're a starting quarterback?" That's basically what he said. He just he worded a question in the most asshole way. Like, he could have he literally could have been like, listen, he could have said it didn't work out. He could have worded it didn't work out. Instead, he words it, they didn't want you. Okay. And I got to give Carson a lot of props here, because Carson is an absolute stud at being a professional. Okay. You can't look, I mean, like, we knock his game sometimes, but look, as a professional, we saw what happened with the Irsay comments. He got asked about that, handled it with the utmost class. And then the same way here, he just says, listen, I can't worry about shit like that. All right. I'm just coming out here to play ball, and I'm going to do my freaking best. Is basically what he said. But I just got to give him kudos there, man, because wow, how do you handle these kind of things with such poise?
Yeah, he did. I mean, he showed that in Philly with Nick Foles and, the whole, and then he showed it in Indianapolis, like you said. So, like, he's dealt with a lot in his career with the media and, like, the reports and all that crap. And he doesn't even listen to it. He doesn't watch it. Like, when the reporter was talking to him about stuff, he answered back like, I didn't hear any of that. So, and he's like, yeah, I know. He's like, yeah, I know. You don't really, like, you're not into that stuff. You're like, you don't really keep your head over there. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, dude, he's a great professional. Let's see if he can finally show it on the field, though. Like, come on, Carson. I mean, the guy was kind of right. Like, this could be your final shot. You've had a lot of shots. This is the 3rd team now. Come on now.
I mean, you definitely don't want to make it a 4th team in 4 years. Okay. But he did get he got a little backup, all right, from Jason Wright, who's like a front office person for the Commanders, that basically said,
president.
He's like, hey, you need to watch it, all right, because we control these credentials, okay? And he brought up a good point as well, just as, like, how are you even going to get these guys to want to talk to you when you're attacking people with questions like that? Like, there was clearly a softer way to ask the exact same question. So, I mean, I don't know what to say. These reporters are going crazy right now. We obviously had the thing with Kinlaw like a month ago or whatever. Now we got this. So I don't know. Reporters are just getting bold out here, I guess. I guess we're really looking for clicks. Maybe we need to start doing that, Max. Maybe we need to really start amping it up and just start hot taking the hell out of this place. But all right, let's slide to some other turmoil. I just want to mention this because it was so odd. The Commanders fired their D-line coach like right as training camp started. Sam Mills. He's worked with Ron Rivera for a while, and it was just a shocker. Like, if you were going to make this change, it's strange to me that you did not make it during the off season. And like, we're heading into training camp and you have to fire him in the middle of training camp. You got your defensive coordinator with the comments about the everything that happened at the Capitol. So look, Ron, get your staff together, man. We need less noise from the coaching staff over there at the Washington Commanders. But I mean, hopefully they'll have some peace. It's not like a big firing or anything. It's just odd. It's just weird. It's just weird timing. So I think something clearly happened. There was some fallout between the two of them that they're not going to publicly talk about, but just worth noting there that there's a little chaos going over there. Let's talk about this last preseason game before we wrap up the day. The Ravens and the Titans, okay? It was basically all backups, all right? Everybody was talking about Malik Willis's performance. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I liked Tyler Huntley's performance better. I am really liking what I've seen from Tyler Huntley. I actually feel guilty leaving him off my top 32 and putting Geno in over him. The only reason I did was because the sample size is so small. But from what we've seen, he's looked really good. On the flip side, Malik Willis, everybody loved his performance, but except for one person, and it might be the most important person. Mike Vrabel said he actually pulled him out of this game because he was running too much. He was like, this guy's relying on his feet. Yeah, he said that. He was like, he's relying on his feet too much, and we need him to like get in the pocket and throw the ball. I think that this is a learning experience. I don't necessarily think it's a negative thing. It's just one of those things he is going to have to learn on it, but it's good to know that he's good enough to rely on his feet like that.
Yeah, man. I saw the highlights, and he made some plays, man. You know, he made some good throws out there. Like I said, I don't really take anything week 1 preseason with a grain of salt. I mean, come on, like they're going against backups. It's going to be a different story when he's out there slinging it against the ones, you know. So it's good to see him, and also Ritter. We didn't really touch on Desmond Ritter. He looked okay too. You know, saying he had a touchdown as well. But yeah, I mean, we knew the flashy plays would happen from Malik Willis, but I just want to see it against the ones, you know. But
yeah, I don't think we're gonna get to see that really.
No, we won't. We won't.
But because it does sound, I don't see him taking Tannehill's job. I just really don't. I don't think he's there yet. I think he's going to need a little time, especially if Mike Vrabel's pulling you for not throwing the ball. That's not a great sign. But he's got time. He definitely has like low pressure situation right now. This is like one of those really great situations for a quarterback to develop under somebody and really get their feet under them in the NFL. But let's just turn to the Ravens for some news because like no starters really played in this game.
Yeah.
Let's start with injuries, okay? J.K. Dobbins and Marcus Peters both activated off the PUP. There might have been some other people too. These were just the most notable names. The Ravens had a flock of people that were hurt right now. It's great news that you're getting J.K. Dobbins and Marcus Peters back. Marcus Peters is already a superstar in this league. J.K. Dobbins had a phenomenal rookie season, looked really promising, and I can't wait to see what this Ravens team can be. I really believe that it will all come down to if you can get your guys back and healthy, because that is what derailed them last season. So we'll see what happens with that. It's just worth noting that they're off of PUP and at practice. So let's get to some signings now. Yeah, absolutely it is. Let's get some signings, okay? Justin Tucker went ahead and took his title as the highest paid kicker back, getting a 4-year, $24 million contract. Obviously well-deserved. Best kicker in the game right now. There's no arguing with that. And then let's switch to the real interesting topic here, all right? Lamar Jackson. Obviously him and the Ravens have been hot and heavy in contract talks the last month or so. But Lamar Jackson did put a deadline on these talks. He said, listen, week 1 comes, we're done, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a deal for me. I'm playing on the tag, and I'll talk to you next offseason. Max, do you think that this deal is going to get done before the offseason? And how much of a priority should it be for the Ravens? Like, should they be okay with him playing on the tag, or should this be an absolute, we must get this done before the season starts?
I think it's going to get done. I do think it's very important for them to get this done before week 1 because I'm not going to like compare the two, but Aaron Judge did the same shit. You know, he was like, I want a contract by this day. If not, boom. And then Aaron Judge is doing what he's doing right now. He's going to win MVP. What if Lamar does that? You know, what if Lamar, the price might be right here for Lamar, but after the season, who knows what he does? It might be a little higher. You know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, Kyler Murray getting paid, there's reports saying that he wants more than Kyler, which he deserves it. You know, he deserves it. So I do think you need to get a deal done. Now, we all know it's been a hard-headed like discussion between Harbaugh, front office, and Lamar, because Lamar is one of those. He represents himself. Well, him and his mother represent him. But I think you need to get it done because it's just like you said. It's another. For me, it's another distraction. You know, you need to get the distractions gone before the season starts. If you really want to win a Super Bowl, you know, you can't have any outside noise in here. You know, that will be a topic throughout the whole season if he does not get signed. So I'm with the whole, you need to sign him before the season starts or you might regret it.
Yeah, I definitely think they will regret it if they don't get the deal done. I kind of don't think that it is going to get done just because I feel like you talk about the Kyler Murray contract. I feel like the Deshaun Watson contract is what makes it so difficult because I definitely think that Lamar Jackson is worthy of fully guaranteed money. I mean, honestly, like after seeing the Predator Deshaun
The
Watson get that
Predator.
kind of money. Okay, there is no reason Lamar Jackson shouldn't get that kind of money. The entire Ravens team doesn't even operate without Lamar Jackson at this point. The entire offense is built around him. They have the worst receiving core in the NFL,
Yep.
but a great tight end room and a great running back room, and that's what works for them. Okay, it's not going to work for them with any other freaking quarterback. I just truly believe that you'll have to redesign your entire team. And I've heard these rumors that are, or I shouldn't say rumors, just like noise that like Tyler Huntley could be also like the Ravens negotiation tactic because he's looked good. Tyler Huntley is nothing compared to Lamar Jackson. I'm sorry. That is not a negotiation tool right there. Okay, fine. Use him then. I'm going to go to the free market and get fully guaranteed money. So I think
and
that
we both like Huntley. Like we're not
absolutely. Yeah. It's just like Lamar Jackson's on another level, man. Like you can't replace him in this offense. I mean, Tyler Huntley had his chance last year. Okay. I mean, he was serviceable, but he wasn't great. He couldn't win the game for you. Their defense was beat up. He probably could have managed the game if everything around him was fine. But I mean, you're not going to win nearly as much games with Tyler Huntley as Lamar Jackson. So that can't even be a negotiation tool. The Ravens need to get this done. If they don't, the price tag is only going to get higher. So that's all I really have on that.
Yeah. And shout out to Kenneth and Mike. They both said, love this show. Great show. Thank you guys for hanging out. We got a question from Mike before we're about to wrap things up, guys. Thank you for watching. But he says, will Derrick Henry rush for 2,000 yards, Keifer?
Whew. That's a good question. Okay. All right, with this question, I'm going to assume that he stays healthy for the whole season. We're just going to assume that he stays healthy for the whole season. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. I actually am going to say no.
Man.
And the only reason I'm going to say no is because of how stacked the AFC is right now. Okay. I understand that our division isn't necessarily the toughest. You have the Colts, but you get to play the Texans and Jaguars 4 times. So that's 4 games. But I mean, dude, all these other AFC teams that they play, pretty much everybody else is tough, man. Every other division is hard as shit. And I also just feel like the Titans have a good chance of taking a step back this season. I just do. I mean, they don't have A.J. Brown. That's going to hurt. People are going to stack the box even more right now. Okay. Yep. I'm going to guess no, but I could definitely be wrong. Derrick Henry is a freaking monster.
Yeah. I mean, before he went down last season, he was definitely on pace to do it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he by like what, week 7, he had like over 800 yards.
He was still the league leading rusher for like 2 more weeks or some shit because while he was hurt. That's how freaking high it was. But I don't know if they're going to have the same level of success without having like a scary receiving threat because they have nobody to take the top off, really. Robert Woods is a good receiver, but I don't really see him as a deep threat. Honestly, he's more of like a route runner type of person. Burks is, look at what the reports that have come out of camp. And I'm not going to, like, I'm not writing him off like he can't be good. I'm just saying it doesn't seem like he's ready. And to put that kind of pressure on a rookie, like, hey, you got to be our guy. You got to be our deep threat. I just don't think that that's reasonable.
Yeah. Well, he asked one more question. And he says, where do you guys think the Jets will finish?
Dead last. Dead freaking last. They are a contender for the #1 overall draft pick.
Yeah, sorry, Mike, but you know, maybe 4 wins, maybe. We'll say 4. I'll say 4. Anything else you got for the preseason games, or are we wrapped up there?
No, I mean we're good on the preseason games. Obviously, week 2 coming at us. There's going to be a lot more playing time for the starters this week. Look, guys, it feels great. NFL football is back. Do we have anything for the people before we head out, Max?
No, I don't, man. We'll touch on some top 100 lists coming down the lines. They're still out there, you know, dropping in as we talk. But we'll touch on some the top NFL 100 lists and see where they kind of got wrong there. Maybe next week or the week after. But hey, guys, you know, week 2 we're coming up, starting tomorrow. We got the first games coming down the pipelines. But until next week, we are gonna say sayonara. We'll be. See you later. We are out here. Peace.